What's up, everybody? How you doing? Welcome back again. It's your boy, Don, from Don's Pinball Podcast here once again with a box of goodies that was delivered to me by Trent Kennedy from Interactive Pinball for this game right here. Jaws, in this case, the premium. It is the Jaws ball-eating shark mod. Doesn't really have a name that rhymes, but we're going to open this up, and I can't wait to show everybody how my experience is putting this guy in. Let's go.
All right, I've decided to do this narration style. So here you go. We got the box. Let's get the box open. What's in Trent's box? Open that lid. Come on, cut that tape off while we're waiting here. Look at that fancy dust cover, man. I wonder where that guy got that. I bet I got some more in stock if anybody be interested. All right, are we really going to cut off? There we go. Okay, the box is open. Here's what you get when you unbox this thing. You got the red snorkel. This will be for the VUC later on, the vertical up kicker, as it were. Lovely shade of red. This is the control board that will go underneath the system and kind of run the whole thing. Run the micro switch, provide power, LEDs, all that business. What else do we got? This is the subway system. So this is what transverses the ball from the shark's gullet back up to the red snorkel via this next bit of kit. Oh, look at this. Here's a shark. So this is what I was impressed with. It's 3D printed, but then painted as well. So came out much better than I was thinking. And in the game, the thing looks fantastic. You'll get to see that later on. Get your finger out of there. Don't get bit. Don't get bit, you guys. There's some incisors there. But yeah, good quality on this print. I love the paint. And yeah, it looks like it should have came with it. All right, this is one little bit for the undersleeve compartment. All right, little bag of parts. All your hardware is in there. There's a little wire harness with the LED. This is the second bit on the trough that goes on the underneath part. Let's get to that big. Oh, you can save it for last. There it is. There's the vertical up kicking device. So this connects to the subway and the red snorkel. It drives the whole thing. Got a micro switch in there, and it's made out of the same materials as the Jerry ramp. It looks like solid fill, great print, great piece of kit, and it's perfectly engineered, man. It fits completely flush and everything. There's the micro switch on the back that will sense the ball when it's in there, and then we'll send it up that vertical up kicking coil. Get rid of that box. There's what you get, man. There's the whole kit for the premium version.
It's been no secret that I love this game and what it offers. And so when Trent reached out to me for a chance to install this and give my impressions of it, I dove right in is what I did. Heck of a tail to spin is what we have. So the first thing I'm going to do is hit start so I can drop that shark. That was the first part of this. Then we'll power off this awesome game. Of course, safety first, right? What else? Oh, yes. So Trent has a whole YouTube video that I'm using to guide myself through this process, so I won't quite do a step-by-step install, but really I'll show my impressions, kind of what I did, and then we'll get to play this thing and see how much it actually adds to this already amazing game.
All right, let's continue on. Get that lock bar out of the way. We're going to get the glass off, and it's time to go underneath the hood for Jaws Premium to install the ball-eating delight. There's not a name for it, but that's what we'll go with for now. Set that glass aside. Pop the top, sir. All right, yeah, safety first. Protect the arc blades. Yes, yeah, I like that. All right, now these guys right here, these are my playfield jacks. I found the design other people were using. I printed these with TPU, so they're nice and flexible. And these are great, man. They just support the whole playfield, so you don't have to work arching your back in the cabinet. Lift that whole thing up, man. Look at that. Fantastic. Again, safety in mind. Now we can access the back. Oh, by the way, I've got chicken buckets available if anybody wants to switch out the chum bucket for a bucket of the Colonel. You just holler at me. All right, so I got everything laid out in the order we're going to be using. We need a 1/4-inch nut driver, a number 2 Phillips, and really that's about it. So the first bit starts on top. We go ahead and remove this little face plate. There's 3 screws in here. They're held in place with some little rubber gaskets. You remove one of them, and Trent will show you. It's the one in the middle, because that'll accommodate this next little bit of plastic that goes in there as a spacer to hold the LED light, which will light up the shark's gullet when he pops up there. So you pop that guy on the back, and then it's just a simple reinstall of these guys. Make sure they're flush. They've got the little rubber O-rings on there, so they have some give, so you can make sure it's nice and flush. I'm testing with the ball to make sure there's no hang-ups. And then that went in just fine. This little plastic cover on the back is going out. We're going to replace it with that red snorkel, and there it's gone. So that's what's going to receive the balls here. in just a bit. All right, we need to go underneath the playfield now for the majority of this install, which went a lot better than what I was thinking, man. I thought this was going to be an overly complicated mechanism and wires everywhere. Is it even going to go back together? Turns out it did, yeah. You release a clip, and then it's just a matter of, let's see, there's a main drive screw that holds in this, gusseted pivot point. I'm not an engineer. Oh yeah, just pop that little guy out, and the whole assembly will come out. There's that little gusseted rack and pinion plate. Again, not a technical term. I don't know what it's called. A little hinge bolt. Look at Bruce there. All right, get rid of him. Yoink, and we'll drop in. Boom, our new one. There he is, ready to go. 4 screws hold it in. You put 2 in the bottom, and then 2 are going to go in with the LED assembly here in a bit. Okay, yeah, he's a shark. We get it. All right, here's your little LED light assembly with 2 of the bolts. This will go into the pre-drilled shark holes there. There it is, all assembled with the wires running down. The little alligator clips will clip in. And yeah, so that's that bit. Then we got to get to the subway, all right? So this is the bulk of the install here. I'm showing where I removed 4 bolts, which we are not going to reuse because we use longer ones. Yeah, there's the 4th one right there. And then this is the subway that just kind of mounts in. This uses the same screw holes, but you got 3-inch screws that come with it. And yeah, we just run those guys in there. There it is in place. Fantastic. Look at that. Yeah, good job, guy. Good job. All right, time for the next bit. This is the VUC tower, right? The vertical up kicker. This is the guy this is the only thing that gave me a little bit of fitment problems, only because it's so precise. I just had to loosen a few of the top screws there. That part comes pre-assembled where that black bit is. That holds up on the top of the playfield on the other side. This goes around the whole back of the machine, or back of the playfield. So once I loosened it up, it fell right into place. Then I was able to tighten everything in place, and it's working awesome. So there we go. What's this bit? Oh yeah, that's me loosening the top screws so that top black plates of plastic would go. All fit in there snug, perfectly precisely. And then there's this little wire harness that comes off of it. You unplug a little bit on this bottom board here, and then this new harness will plug into that spot. And then there's a little, expansion or junction spot there where the piece we just pulled off the board, we're going to put back into the wire harness. Yeah, it snaps in right there. Beautiful. Then there'll be one more piece for the control board there at the end. All right, so this is the OEM bracket. You just remove that guy, just a couple of screws there. And then we're going to toss it because we've got the replacement assembly right here. This guy. These 2 pieces come together, and then the whole thing mounts in that spot there. So this is going to be the new track for the shark mechanism as it goes in and out. It also helps to shuttle the balls into the subway system. And yeah, as you're tightening these down, you just want to use your fingers there and make sure everything's lined up good. Yeah, and that's essentially the under system there. All right, Bruce. Bruce 2.0. He's ready to go in. This went in surprisingly easy. I thought this was going to be a lot of jiggering and things. But essentially, the whole thing slid right in there, and then I just had to get that bolt assembly hinge, pivot, rack and assemblage linkage thing. Again, not an engineer. Back in place. And then you just throw that screw back in there that holds the whole thing on the pivot point. There's a little cam to reattach with a simple C-ring. That's pretty easy. And then that part's all finished. There we go. Tighten it up, guy. That's a great screw job. I'm glad I included this footage. So I didn't want to edit this out at all. I wanted to see exactly how long it took me to put this screw back in. You got it? Look at you go. Don't doubt the process, man. All right, control board is in place. There's 2 screws that hold it in. There's alligator clips I put in so they'll run the LED. And then this is the final screw of 2 for the control board. And then there's just a couple of things to plug in, and then the underside is complete at this point. So a couple of spade terminals come out here. This is going to plug into the micro switch, and I followed the video's instructions. I used the leftmost and the midpoint to put these in, and I'm happy to report that it's functioning perfectly. So that worked. And then this is that little bit from earlier. It goes into the control board. Click. And then that's in. Those spade terminals are in. The VUC is VUCking. And I made sure to leave enough play in this cable harness so as the boat goes up and down, it won't get caught. That was the only thing. You're still got to watch that and make sure there's enough play in there. Then we're going backside here to put the red snorkel in. I got a little LED strip from another mod I put in just so I'd add some more light back there. Why not, right? More lights, more fun. So this is what's going to return the ball back there. Also, it doubles as a ball shield to make sure nothing gets flying out of there because we removed that polycarbonate piece that was in there earlier. And then, man, like once this is in there, you're complete here. Tighten it down. Good. There you go. Nice snorkel's not going nowhere. Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's test it out. Oh, there's new Bruce 2.0. And this is fun. From the perspective of the player, you can look straight down his gullet with that red light coming out. So I do like how that works. And then this is me just feeding the balls back in there. Game's not even started. This is just in attract mode. But that micro switch is running off that control board back there. And the VUC is just throwing the balls. Let's force feed them. That's 4 at once. Boom. There they are.
Holy crap, man! It's working! Shark eating the ball. I'm incredibly exuberant over that. I want to fire up a game. And let's see how she plays. Come on.
Gameplay time. Let's fly. Let's fire it up.
So, there you have it. Shark eats ball, dogs and cats living together, mass hysteria. It works. I installed it and it works. Looking back to the process, there were a couple areas that were a little bit difficult. The fitment for everything, but really the VUC, the white VUC chamber, is very precise. So it does fit in there, and it did go in just fine. I had to loosen a few screws just to get a little bit of play to get it ever so slightly where I needed it to be. Wire management is a thing to be conscious of. Make sure there's enough room for the the wire harness going to the boat to be able to move freely up and down. It worked fine when I installed, but I had to be mindful that I was routing my wires properly. There are some engineered openings in the subway system to allow for that, so just make sure you follow along with the video. The video was great. Step by step took me through everything. And I gotta say, I thought this was kind of gimmicky at first, but after playtesting with it, this is really kind of fun. It registers the hit, whether you hit the shark or there goes into the mouth. It just adds an extra dimension of, kinetic ball movement. And it doesn't do it in a way where, some mods that alter the gameplay or add ball paths really change the difficulty of the game. really, instead of having the ball feed back down to you, if it goes inexact, it feeds back safely to the flipper. So I guess in that way, it can be a little bit more, make the game a little bit more predictable, but not to the sense that, the Black Knight Sword or Rage Sword just safely returns to your flipper, or the 007 mod that puts the ball from the VUC directly back into a wire form. This is really fun. I did enjoy it. Make up your mind if you want to put it in your machine. I don't know if it would be great for a tournament machine, but for adding more fun stuff to do at home with this game, which should be bolted wherever it goes because it's so phenomenal. Yeah, man, I had a lot of fun. So Trent Kennedy's at interactivepinball.com. He's got a sign-up list for the Pro, Premium, and LE versions. This was an install on the Premium. I can't imagine that it's much different for the LE. In fact, I can't think of a single reason why it would be. But there you go. Jaws, why don't you take yourself a little break there? You've been working pretty hard. So email me, donspinballpodcast@gmail.com. I'll put a link down to Trent's address here down below. And yeah, holler at me. Did you just decide to update or something? Did we just get a live code update? The game code is updating, like right now as I'm recording this. Alright, newsflash. There's a new Jaws code update apparently.